What is up, everybody? Welcome to another Raid Shadow Legends video. Hope you guys had an amazing weekend and a great start of the week. Now, we haven't heard anything from Plarium in terms of news for this week. Nothing like a guaranteed legendary event, a 1+1 legendary or anything crazy like that. But that doesn't mean that we can't have a surprise tomorrow when we start the game. So keep an eye on it, because for the last few weeks, we had something every single week. They haven't missed a shot. Now in today's video, guys, I want to talk about a couple of uncommon champions that are amazing campaign farmers. They're accessible to everyone, they don't require any crazy gear whatsoever, and considering that we had such a crazy weekend where we showcased those extreme endgame dungeon teams, I want to start the week a bit differently, right? I want to have every sort of content on my channel, endgame, mid-game, early game, free-to-play, something for everybody, just kind of like a token of my appreciation, guys. Like, we've been doing YouTube for around 2 years now, covering Raid, and you guys have been killing it. So I want to make sure we have something for everybody on this channel. Now, when we're playing Raid, we're wasting most of the time in campaign, right? We're farming campaign, leveling up champions. In today's video, I want to help you reduce the time that you're spending in here and just kind of like help you to be more efficient. If we need to replace the campaign farmer in order to save time, we gotta do it. The whole idea is time is the most precious resource that we have, okay? And you want to make sure, especially if you're a mobile player, that you're not wasting all your time in campaign. If you're playing on the PC, you have the RSL helper that can literally do all this work for you. But especially if you're playing just on mobile, it can be pretty painful to level up your champions. And I'm telling you that kind of like from own experience now. So I started my referrals, right? And it just made me realize how painful it is to just farm campaign, farm campaign, farm campaign. I don't have a 6-star yet, which doesn't really matter, because at the end of the day, you're still gonna come back to campaign for the rest of your life, pretty much. If you're playing Raid for the next 20 years, you'll be coming back to campaign for the next 20 years. And you wanna make sure you don't have a campaign farmer that takes like 30, 40 seconds per run, you know, because that's just gonna waste so much time. The two champions that I wanna showcase in today's video, guys, is no one else but Saurus and Shieldguard. Now, these two uncommons are actually pretty badass, and the whole idea is they're super accessible. Ironically, you can actually get them from campaign by farming specific stages. You can get them from mystery shards or buy them from the market. Super easy to max out, especially skill-wise, because you're just gonna use duplicates in order to max their skills. They only have 2 skills each, which will make them rotate much faster. They have fast animations. We're going to talk about all that in a second. They don't require masteries. The only masteries that I got on both of them are the very first gray scrolls. You need 3 runs on stage 15 and you get this done. Basically, it's just to get more crit rate, to get more crit damage, and to get this 5% extra damage when attacking with full HP. That's actually going to help us out quite a bit. Now, if we're talking about their skills quickly, Saurus, Wind Cutter, AoE attack, Fire Wave, AoE attack, and attacks them 2 times, has a chance to land heal reduction, which we don't really care about. We just want to have the damage from them. And if we're moving to Shieldguard, he's actually a bit more fancy as a champion. He has some crazy stuff in his kit. He's actually very fun to use. The A1 attacks one enemy, has a chance to land decreased speed. His A2 attacks all enemies, fills this thermometer by 20% on each critical hit. Damage inflicted is proportional to defense. So Saurus deals damage based on attack, Shieldguard deals damage based on defense. His passive removes 1 random debuff from this champion each turn. Now, Shieldguard is actually going to help you quite a bit in the game as well. I remember on my free-to-play, I actually use him even in the Doom Tower on some bosses. I can't even remember because it's been a while, but I know I had one at level 50 and I was planning to take him to 60 because I didn't have tons of legendaries, tons of epic champions, and he's definitely a pretty solid champion. Saurus kind of fits the best in campaign now. It doesn't mean that you cannot use him in faction wars like early on, mid-game. Probably he's not gonna help you on stage 21, but he's gonna be fairly decent for some of the stages. Plus, you can use a stun set on him at any time to help you with the waves for faction wars if needed. When we're talking about gear, they really don't require crazy gear. That's what I like about these champions. They don't need to have crazy stats. You see, I don't have anything spectacular on them. I don't have Savage on them, which is the next important thing, you know. Most of the damage dealers, they're gonna need a Savage gear to deal crazy damage. If we're gonna compare these two champions with the starters, Kale, Galek, Atel, whatever, they have faster animation compared to the starter champions. The starter champions, they will need to have much crazier stats in order to farm campaign as fast as these two champions. I'm telling you that from my own experience. I'm very familiar with the starter champions. And on top of it, they have to rotate through 3 different skills, okay? A2, A3, A2, A1, and keep on spinning around, much slower animations. So that all around will actually just bring time on top of it. Plus, you might want to use your starter champion for something else in the game. You don't want that champion to farm campaign for you anymore. You don't want him to be at 120 speed for campaign, you know what I mean? So then, these two champions are some of the best options that you have out there. Now, if by any chance you have Fellhound, you have Bellower, you have Queen Eva, I probably suggest you don't invest in these uncommon champions, because those champions are actually doing the job very, very well as well. They don't need crazy stats. I mean, Bellower kind of does, but Queen Eva and Fellhound don't. And they're some of the best campaign farmers in the entire game, out of the other rarities, you know. Let me quickly show you the stats. So, Shield Guard is on 3k defense. His damage is based on defense, 29k HP, 162 speed, 92 crit rate, 194 crit damage. I have speed boots on them. I would strongly suggest you use attack boots on Saurus, defense boots on Shield Guard, just to get more damage. And honestly, I feel like the stats that they have right now are more than enough. You're not gonna need to go anywhere crazier than this. I don't have attack or defense boots at 5-star or anything like that, only 6-star with tons of crit rate and crit damage, and not from these sets. So I chose to give them speed boots instead. Plus, I don't want to take their stats too high either, you know. I do have quite a bit of accuracy, and that's because I don't have a defense banner for him. So I actually gave him this, and I gain a bit of defense from here. The only defense banners that I have, I think they're like something like this, you know. So they're a bit too powerful for them. They don't really need those sort of stats. He's actually on a lifesteal and a perception. They don't really require lifesteal, okay? Because they're not really gonna get damaged. You have fodders with you, they're gonna get the damage and they're just gonna clean up. This is the weapon. We have the helmet, shield, crit damage gauntlet, defense chest piece, and we have speed boots right here. We have defense ring, crit damage amulet, and we've seen the banner already. Now I have refresh accessories because are kind of like the lowest rarity, the lowest quality accessories that I have on the account. Because with the rest, I'm very picky. They're all maxed at level 16. So these are kind of like the best options that I had for these champions. Moving over to Saurus, he is built on a cruel set. If you don't know from where you're getting that, that's from the clan boss. 2 perception sets. This is the weapon, helmet, shield, crit damage gauntlet, attack chest piece, and we have speed boots. We have an attack ring, unfortunately no attack percentage, crit damage amulet, and I have a defense banner. I would prefer to have an attack one, but unfortunately I don't have one available. Total stats, 3.3k attack, 25k HP, 150 speed, 95 crit rate, 210 crit damage. And he's gonna do the job just fine. Now let me quickly show you the champions that I was talking about before. If by any chance you have Fellhound, he's definitely the best campaign farmer in the entire game when we're talking about Brutal. Very, very powerful, super fast, extremely fast animations actually. We have Bellower. He can do a decent job. He does require pretty solid stats, and he's not as fast as the uncommon champions that I'm about to show you, unless you're gonna manage to have crazy stats and one-shot every single wave with Bellower, or get a high speed and get double turn for each one of the waves, and that's at 200 speed. The next one is Queen Eva, and she's this one right here. She's amazing for campaign, okay? So if you have these 3 champions, these two mainly, her and Fellhound, I would suggest you don't invest in uncommon champions. Moving over to campaign, so let's go all the way up to stage 12-3 on Brutal. We have Saurus, we have some fodders. We want to have fodders to show the real time. If we're gonna use Saurus alone, he's gonna do it much faster because nothing is holding him back. Nothing is dragging him back, you know what I mean? So let's take them in for a spin. There we go, one-shotting the waves without a problem. Almost the same for the second ones. Now, same with Saurus. If I would make him at around 200 speed, he's gonna be farming this so much faster, okay? 10 seconds with Saurus. Pretty decent. There we go again, one-shotting that. Almost one-shotting. If he didn't had a crit hit there, unfortunately. That's kind of like what hold us back, because we don't have full crit rate. I wasn't able to reach full crit rate with that gear. Okay. Let's see another run with Saurus. One-shotting again. Come on, crit. Nice. We lost the fodders now, and now we can use the AoE, the A2, 10 seconds again. So this is pretty damn fast for an uncommon champions with the stats that we have on him. How I mentioned, make him faster, he's gonna do the job even better. What if we're bringing in Shield Guard? What can we get out of Shield Guard? Time to see. Same, we're gonna run him with fodders, because why not? Okay, one-shotting them with the A2. His A2 is actually so damn good just because you're getting that thermometer, and it's actually very, very nice for other places in the game, you know, getting that thermometer constantly running around. 11 seconds with Shield Guard. That's because we had a proc on the refresh accessory, which actually helped us quite a bit. And seems like we had it again. Now, if you have a refresh accessory, if you're lucky enough to have for the right faction, you're gonna be able to do it in 11 seconds. Now, he averages at around 12 to 18 seconds if no refresh accessory procs on him, you know. But seems like this time around, he decided to proc every single time. Just kind of like, okay, Skratch, you know what? I'm gonna teach you a lesson. 13 seconds this time around. Let's give it another one to see if we're not procking anything. We didn't proc it there. That's sweet. Okay. Shield Guard, what are you doing? Okay, there we go. So this is a bit more like Shield Guard sort of feeling, you know, because this is kind of like his normal time, I would say. Maybe a bit faster than the 90 seconds. But this is how they're farming the campaign, these two uncommon champions. How I mentioned, super accessible, easier to max out because you don't need to have rare, epic, or legendary skill tomes. And they're doing a fairly decent job, a pretty good time as well. Let me know in the comments down below which one is your campaign farmer. I'm very curious to know with what champions you guys are farming campaign. And that was all for this video. Much love, appreciate all of you guys watching, and I'll catch you all soon in the next one. Peace.